Welcome back to Persona 5 Strikers. Last time we found out the root of Mariko's trauma, and now, well, we won't need to fan ourselves for much longer because we're going to be facing the Ice Queen herself. Firstly though, I need to go ahead and cook the Genghis Khan recipe that I got from before. It's only 40 HP to all allies, but it does give bond points, so I may as well do it. I've got plenty of ingredients.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not really into lamb myself or red meat. I'm more of a chicken guy. So now you want to eat this every day.
What?
And you do too. I guess everyone wants to marry Joker, which is kind of canon, honestly. Okay, a little bit more, but I will be able to go for a 4-leaf clover tonight. So, if we check the shop, speaking of cooking, now that I've unlocked all of the Sophie Bond, bond upgrades to sales, we can actually buy all of these cooking ingredients, including this, which I don't think we've had access to before. Only 2 at a time, but it's probably a good idea to grab a bunch of these in between Metaverse visits, so they'll restock. If you keep doing that, you shouldn't need to worry about running out of ingredients. Except for coffee beans. More rescue pills. I have also bought some better protectors for some people. You can sadly only buy one of these on this night, but I may as well take it. Don't worry, that'll be over soon.
Well done.
And that's pushed us over the edge. Checking bond skills. I kind of want to level this up, because it does add up over the course of the game. And let's waste no more time with preparations. Here we go.
Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah, obviously she's going to be riding it. Haru wants to see us. Well, let's not keep her waiting.
I'm sorry to call you out so late. Thanks for being here. I wanted to talk to you about Mari-san. It's strange how I couldn't remember Mari-san until now. Even when Hasagawa-san said her name, it didn't quite occur to me who she was. But the moment she called me Haru-chan, suddenly, it felt like a lid popped open in my mind, and my memories came pouring out. I remembered all these things about my childhood, about Mari-san. How could I forget someone I loved so much?
This conversation does feel like it's trying to acknowledge the fact that, this is a case of what TV tropes would call remember the new guy. Mariko is established as being a big part of Haru's childhood, but she wasn't mentioned back in the original Persona 5 because she's a new character who was added in Strikers. The thing is, I feel like this is one of the few cases where that's justified. Haru was very young when she last met Mariko. And also,
I think what happened with my father affected me more than I realized. All the times we spent together, and the moment he passed away, I must have suppressed those memories deep within my heart. At some point, I got used to hiding things away, and I even forgot a good friend like Mari-san. Thanks for understanding. To be honest, I feel like I was running from the past again. A long time ago, I remember tagging along with Mari-san and my father during a golfing trip. I was so happy running around that I ended up tripping and falling. And of course I started crying. Then all of a sudden, Mari-san came up to me and said, "Stop crying and get back up." And that shocked me at first because I always thought of her as an extremely gentle person. But because I knew she was so kind, I managed to stop crying and eventually got back up. I I remember thinking Mari-san would never say anything out of place. I trusted her completely. At that point, Mari-san hugged me and said, "No matter how many times you fall, you can always get back up and start again. Never forget that." Can you believe it? I didn't quite understand back then, but I think I do now. There's more to good character than kindness. Being good means dealing with the bad in front of you.
And I think this sums up Haru quite a lot. She must have got a lot of her current philosophy from Mariko.
It means to take a stand, even when all you want to do is run away. To realize nothing will change if you keep ignoring reality. I have you and the Phantom Thieves to thank for that. It's too late to save my father. But it's not too late for Mari-san. This time, I can change things around.
And with this, Haru does get to do what she wished she could do for her father but couldn't. Strikers just enhances the original Persona 5 story so much, and it's why I recommend that everyone who loves P5 play Strikers, please. Also, this whole conversation has made me realize that Mariko might be my favorite antagonist in Strikers now, and given how much I like Alice and Ungo, that's really saying something.
I want to tell her exactly what she told me all those years ago. Yes. Thanks for hearing me out. Tomorrow, I'm going to do my absolute best. But for now, good night.
Oh, you are definitely going to be MVP tomorrow. I like how the talk with the party member occurs before the boss fight and calling card this time, not after.
Hey. Why is Haru so upset over Mariko Hyodo? I don't have a heart, so it's hard to understand. Why do people try so hard for others?
These conversations with Sophie remind me a lot of Nanako's social link in Persona 4, her asking questions like why do people do bad things.
I wonder if I'll ever know. Okay, I'll believe you. It may seem like a simple concept to you, but to me, it makes my mind go But I am humanity's companion. I am here to learn and grow.
Now the big day arrives.
Good day, everyone. Are we ready to make Sapporo a paradise as pure as snow? Then remember, on election day, please vote Mariko Hyodo!
What is that? A calling card?
Whoa, it's real.
What's going on? Mariko Hyodo, the false empress with a frozen heart. You are a cold manipulator who treats people as tools to be discarded. We find this unforgivable and will end your reign of abuse. In fact, we will take back the desires you stole this very night. This is... And they say they're going to steal my desires? What a bald-faced lie! Those desires are mine and mine alone! As long as I'm the monarch, I won't let anyone stop me! Very well. I was just beginning to work up an appetite. I wonder what you'll taste like. Perhaps I should gobble you up and find out! Why are you just standing there? Take these wretched things down!
Wait for us, Mari-san. It'll all be over soon.
I like how there's just silence here and Ryuji's arm pump. Here we go. It is time to face Mariko herself. gonna head to the former government office.
Let's go. We need to change Mari-san's heart.
But before we actually go to her, we're gonna check that respawning chest because it can sometimes be technical, Adept. So unfortunately, this is actually a re-record. I lost the footage from my first attempt at this fight, and on my original attempt, I got technical Adept from this chest. Ah, burn boost. Yeah, that can be technical Adept, which is an insanely good skill card to have. Kinda wish I got it this time, but I guess not. Or we can just run away. Yep, goodbye, Satanta. So, Jane first.
Oh, this is...
I love how you can see the Desire gem from here, but we're about to find out what all this knife, fork, and food symbolism is for. Now, let's talk about party. So, Mariko is weak to Psy and also Curse, and only Joker can use that. So your other characters besides Joker and Haru are a little bit flexible here. Probably don't bring Arn because she uses a lot of ice and fire is not useful. I'm going to use Yusuke for the ice resist and Sophia for the debuffing. I'm actually a little low on health though, so I will auto recover.
Go ahead.
I'll start on Sophia, and then I'll be going to Haru for pretty much the entire fight, hopefully.
The enemy's on high alert. Try not to do anything careless.
What, like climb a giant chain in full view of everyone? I mean, them being on alert just means the calling card worked. Cage of Gluttony. Yep, we now know that gluttony is Mariko's sin,
Not seeing any shadows at the moment.
and it's a little different to how it's portrayed in the original Persona 5. I'll go into that in a moment.
Sorry about the wait. We're here to kick ass and... What?
Silence, you whelp!
To borrow a YouTube comment I once saw, this is Elsa if she really let herself go.
Who the hell is she?
That couldn't be... Mari-san? What on earth happened to her? I'm guessing this is Hyodo's distorted form.
What do you people want? You had best... best not get in my way! Oh, I'm almost there. A few more votes and I'll win re-election!
This is wrong, Mari-san. Those votes you gathered by twisting the people's hearts are worthless.
And if you don't stop your tyranny, your staff will collapse one by one. I get why it's hard for you to trust people, but you still have to treat them with decency.
Ah! You shut your impudent mouths! I've done nothing wrong! I will wring out every last ounce of corruption from my staff by working them into the ground!
One interesting thing is that her staff aren't exactly like victims in all this, but it's still wrong for her to be treating them that way.
I'll silence all charlatans who betray me! And I will consume every last vote in the city! Whether these people agree with me or not!
And with that terminology, it's confirmed that the food here is a metaphor for the votes. So I said back in Persona 5 that, in my opinion, the difference between gluttony and greed is that greed more relates to ambition, whereas gluttony is more just consuming for the sake of it and having no real end goal in mind. In Mariko's case, I feel it's more that she's forgotten her original end goal, and she's instead just become drunk with power and is just gorging on all these votes and just wanting more and more.
Only then can I build a safe haven, a radiant snow city that sparkles like winter.
Listen to him. When you take away someone's desire, you rob them of their agency, the ability to make their own decisions. So what good does it do to turn your loyal citizens into mindless drones? Isn't it better to let them arrive at their own conclusions? To follow their own hearts?
How dare you lecture me?
Good job, Noor. You tell her. Mari-san, say goodbye to the countless desires you stole. Because Beauty Thief and the Phantom Thieves are about to take them back.
Honestly, they're all in my way. Ah. This is the last straw. Ah. Ah. You've made me so very hungry. It's dinner time, and the main course is you!
Mari-san, what you're doing is wrong. So we'll be taking those desires back.
Welcome to this stomach face dehydrated blobfish abomination.
Shut your prissy little mouth! What would you know? I will consume all who oppose me, no matter who they are!
Another aspect of symbolism to this form is that it's literally two-faced. So, this is in my opinion one of the tougher bosses in this game.
Whoa, what's with all the food? I want some.
Now's not the time to stuff your face. Here she comes.
So get away from that ice shockwave. It will hurt a lot if it hits you. So let's do that, and now let's go over to Haru, and Haru's going to be basically our MVP for this entire fight. Now, an important note about this fight. Do not use the chandeliers. You will need them later. It's a little bit annoying the game doesn't really warn you about that, but seriously, don't use the chandeliers yet. It's also a good idea to stay behind her for the most part, and of course, Haru gets her final master art in this fight. So yeah, triangle special attacks become gradually faster and you become harder to flinch. That gets rid of one of her only weaknesses. Because getting flinched out of her attacks is definitely one of the biggest problems she had. Okay, get lost is a big swipe like that with the tongue. I mean, I know a lot of her attacks at this point because I've spent a lot of time fighting this boss. It is definitely one of the tough ones on the first playthrough. Okay, that's the forward dinner dash, I guess. I'm in front of her, which is actually really bad, but at least I broke a shield gauge. Okay, oh, there's my butterfly. Now with this, I like to lock onto her to make this a little easier to dodge. If you want, you can try for a dodge and counter on that, but it's a little tricky to get the timing sometimes. Okay, oh, we're not actually getting wrecked that badly. But yeah, always watch your health because it's quite easy to die here. Also, Mariko is very fast for someone of her size, so just be aware of that. So, Mariko just inflicted herself with rage. I said earlier in this playthrough that technical and weakness damage stack in strikers. That is why you want to use Haru in this battle. Though it is important to note, you may want to save breaking her shield gauges for a little later. There is something later on in this fight that breaking the shield gauge does. Unfortunately, all out attacking her also dispels rage. So it also means that, yeah, you might end up doing less damage to her overall. I also have some Gyutan burgers I can use, so I might want to save those for later. Okay, yep, she has gone into this mode, and yeah, as you can see, like, look at the damage that she takes here. Now, this attack is cool. So yeah, you can get through that blizzard by activating the heater, a nice use of mechanics introduced in this dungeon itself. However, I believe she actually did try using dinner time there, which is one of her most dangerous attacks. She didn't actually get it though.
More! There's still more! I must eat every last one of you!
Now at this point, I think she is permanently in rage mode. so it is definitely easy to take down her health at this point.
I know you're still kind deep down.
Sicken me.
I need to eat some food, ironically. But something else I need to mention in this fight is the symbolism of the Snow Queen story. So, the original Snow Queen involved a mirror, and when its shards got into people's eyes, they started only seeing the bad in other people and in the world. It's definitely a metaphor for certain real kinds of cynicism, and I've definitely been there in my life before. The Snow Queen also involves the main character's childhood friend / love interest getting the shards in him and getting taken by the Snow Queen and trapped in her palace. And the only way to free him is for him to spell the word eternity with some blocks, which I think he ends up inadvertently doing after the main character tracks him down and hugs him. Also kind of metaphorical, I guess.
The size of this blizzard. Her lungs must really be something. I'm done hacking the heater to the southeast. Head over there now. Blizzard has stopped.
Bureaucrat Waltz. Yeah, that actually, yeah, that is insanely painful that hits you. Now, she hasn't actually used dinner time yet, and if she doesn't, that's kind of annoying because I want her to do it at least once. Yep, watch out for that. You can still go down quite easily if you're not careful. I mean, now is the time to use a Gutam burger. Sort of want to stall this out and see if she'll use dinner time. But I probably am not going to let her do it. Okay. Okay, she's going for it. This, I do wish was telegraphed a bit better, because it's entirely possible for you to reach this point in the fight and have already used all the chandeliers. The only other way to make her spit someone out is to break all of her shield gauges and do an all-out attack, and that can be a tough ask. Anybody who is om-nom-nom by Mariko is gone, by the way. You can't even revive them. So, yeah, that can be problematic. So, hopefully, this is close enough. Well, it finished her off anyway.
What kind of monster?
But that should have had her, yeah, that made her release Joker. It is interesting to see her motivation though as well, that she fears that if she's not in office anymore, then the one who'll take her place would be even worse.
Well done.
It's kind of an interesting villain motivation to me, although it also kind of reminds me a little bit of He Who Remains in Marvel's Loki series. And now I have Divine Grace. What will I get rid of? Oh, right. I never used this. It's funny how it says Tetrarcha can be relearned later. Are you sure? Because in earlier games it would say can't.
Wait. Not yet. I won't let it end this way. I need to wipe out all of Sapporo's injustice.
Please stop. Haven't you done enough?
What?
You're a kind person, Mari-san, and I know you've tried to shoulder all of this alone. The staff member who took bribes, the councilman who tried to set you up, even the girl who died in the accident. Each of these things grieved you, and in order to make a city where none of it could reoccur, you took action as you saw fit. Am I right?
As the mayor, I know very well that little girl's death was ultimately my fault. But my staff betrayed me, all for their insatiable greed. I thought I could leave that awful position behind. Unfortunately, it wasn't as simple as that. Had I gone, I'd only be replaced by greedy scum. That's why I never stepped down. In this world, it's either eat or be eaten. And with circumstances so cruel, I decided I'd be the one doing the eating. Even if every last one of my votes were false, at least I could use them to make the world a better place. But if I was replaced as mayor, who would be there to honor that little girl's memory? An innocent girl lost her life, yet I could do nothing to stop the evil still afoot.
It's not too late to set this right. First, you must tell the people everything that happened. Then can you get a fresh start? But this time, on your own strength.
That would be impossible. I cooperated with those awful men to hide the truth. That way I could continue being mayor. There's nothing I can do.
Stand up, Mariko Hyodo! Are you just going to stay knocked down? You are a kind and strong woman, not someone who collapses over mistakes. So stand up and hold your head up high, because no matter how many times you fall, you can always get back up and start again.
Isn't that...
Yes, you said that to me a long time ago. Even if you told the people the truth about the incident, there are those who would still see the good in you. Don't let your position ruin you. Think back to what you stood for.
She's right, Mayor. You can't give up.
If you tell everyone your side of things, they'll listen.
When my father died, I felt like my heart was going to break. But thanks to the Phantom Thieves, I was able to stand strong and move forward. That's why I know you can too. Remember the part of you that taught me to get back up, no matter how many times I fall.
Yes, you're right. Thank you, Haru-chan. What I've done was wrong. I drove my employees to the brink and used a strange power to manipulate the votes. I was so driven by my personal agenda, I lost sight of how I originally felt. And why I ran for mayor in the first place. To make a city beloved by everyone. To give back to the home where I was raised. That's reason enough to take another stand. I won't make this mistake again. I never needed this power from the start. Haru-chan, you've grown so much. Your father must be so happy in heaven.
At risk of killing the mood, I'm gonna borrow a line I read when I was watching somebody else livestream this game. Nice sentiment, he ain't in heaven though. That just always stuck with me.
Mari-san. Happy?
This place is collapsing! Let's go!
That took us quite a while.
Haru, you were fantastic.
Finally, the screen time has been vindicated.
It was only because you were all with me. But I do wonder if Mari-san will be okay.
I'd say so. Her shadow disappeared like they always do.
Yeah, your feelings definitely reached her. I'm sure her heart has changed for the better. Well, I guess this wraps up the mission. We still need to confirm that the citizens are all back to normal. It'd be nice if we could do that right away.
Just ask someone on the street who you're voting for, and if they're like, I don't know, then it's probably worked.
Can we grab something to eat first? I'm hungry enough to pass out here.
He has a point. Battles can't be fought on an empty stomach.
The battle's already over, but still.
Hey, can we try Genghis Khan? That delicious lamb barbecue dish?
Well, just as long as we don't have to kill a bunch of Mothmen for it.
Ooh, that's a must in Hokkaido.
Also, we already had some of that earlier.
What? I thought we were finally getting lobster hot pot.
I'm with you, Yusuke. That'd be more variety.
Since when did we decide that? Why would we when it's so damn hot out?
But if you think about it, isn't Genghis Khan also sort of like hot pot?
No way! Isn't it supposed to be barbecue?
Well, cooking Genghis Khan does require a utensil called a Genghis Khan pot. And you can't barbecue in a pot.
Just look at us arguing over the semantics of whether things count as barbecue or hot pot. Ryuji, we have long past our chance to not be dorks.
True.
terminology does refer to grilling. I wonder why.
Does it even matter?
Hey, was that a smile just now? Yeah, straight from Sapporo. It's Beauty Thief's award-winning smile.
I'm relieved too. I thought you might be weighed down by all that's happened.
Indeed. She was so weighed down that she met up with our leader for a private midnight chat.
Oh, right, so you saw all that.
Huh? Were you watching?
Potential Haru Joker ship tease, I guess. Considering it's like my second favorite pairing, that's probably fine.
Alright, Sophia. Find us the best Genghis Khan in Sapporo.
And that skill just increases the ammo of all your weapons, kind of fitting for Haru. It's probably best on Haru herself, because her grenade launcher doesn't really have that much.
Sophia?
Sorry. Okay, I've got it.
Is she lagging or something? What's our internet connection like here?
Is this a joke? Well, everyone seems pretty normal to me.
Yes, everyone's out there in the field, looking for four-leaf clovers to infinitely boost their bonds.
Their fanatical support for Mariko Hyodo appears to have died down.
I'm glad they're back to their senses. What a drastic change. Just goes to show how powerful a monarch's influence can be.
Hey, guess what? Hyodo-san's holding a press conference right now.
Thank you all for taking your time to gather here today. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to share with everyone. As of today, I will be resigning from office. I do not intend to seek re-election either. During my time as mayor, I've betrayed all of your trust. You may think of me as a mayor who's earned your trust, but in truth, there's plenty that I'm ashamed of. The snow sculpture that collapsed was built by an unscrupulous company that bribed one of my staff. In spite of my responsibility, I neglected to see the finer details and went ahead with the construction. As a result, the sculpture ended up collapsing, and a girl's precious life was lost. Furthermore, I elected to cover up the truth, all so I could save my position. I've been garnering votes I didn't deserve in order to stay on as mayor. I betrayed everyone to protect myself and covered it up by allowing more wrongdoing. I am among the guilty. That little girl, she died because of me. As such, I will have the police reinvestigate the case and offer my full assistance. And again, I will drop out of the election and forfeit my position as mayor.
Seems that Hyodo-san's made up her mind.
I wonder if she'll be arrested.
Good question.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, election fraud's a possibility, but really, I kind of feel like the company that made that sculpture might be liable for some form of manslaughter or definitely damages somehow.
Hyodo was afraid that if she wasn't the mayor, she couldn't protect her people.
She could have told the truth and made her underling take the blame. But she was concerned about other evils potentially lurking in the shadows.
I think this turned out for the best. Mari-san wouldn't have wanted to hide her mistake forever.
Zenkichi is on the line.
Hey, you guys see Hyodo's press conference?
For once, we weren't actually there.
Yep, you all did a bang-up job. Really, can't thank you enough. They plan on bringing Hyodo in as a key witness regarding the accident. I knew you'd want to analyze her phone, too. So I pulled a few strings, and now I'm her personal chauffeur. At least as far as the station. If you want, I can open up some time for you to talk to her. Just tell me where you want to meet.
And this one's a little different.
I'm sorry. How could you ever forgive me, Kaho-chan?
Because we're talking to her directly.
Mari-san.
And I guess it makes sense here, because unlike with Alice and, like, Yusuke and Ann sympathize with their targets, but in this case, we do have someone who personally knew her. Makes more sense we'd be able to get an audience.
Haru-chan, listen, there was something wrong with me. It's like I was in a terrible dream. I don't know when it was that my heart grew so cold. But after what you told me, I remembered who I really was inside. When I became mayor, I wanted to protect the city and everyone in it as if they were my own family. I remembered that feeling. Thanks to you, I've finally been able to confront myself. And I realized that I was doing a horrible disservice to that girl. I had lost sight of reality and begun acting self-righteous. Nothing I did was for her sake.
But Mari-san, you were doing the best you could.
No, it's the truth. Had I not realized my mistake, I would have likely continued to hurt even more people. But that's not what Kaho-chan would want. So let me say, thank you, Haru-chan. Thank you for saving this city, for saving my family.
Mari-san!
Your father's recent passing must have caused you so much turmoil. I'm sorry I added to it. But if there's anything I can do for you in the future, any way I can be there, just ask me. I say this because you're a precious part of my family too.
So it is great that Haru finally has one family member who's, you know, nice.
Thank you so much, Mari-san.
Oh, Haru-chan!
I'm happy for you, Haru.
Sophie's confused again.
I suppose I must get going. Though I am concerned about the state of affairs I've left our city in, I'll leave it up to my successor. An arrogant wretch like me has no place being the mayor.
Does that mean you won't be involved in politics anymore?
Yes, I'm too ashamed to show my face in public. And at my age, there are plenty of younger folks who can...
Mayor.
You're...
I saw the news. So you're resigning. And you're leaving politics for good?
That's right. I've promised to step down and never...
You can't be serious! Resigning won't bring her back. In fact, it won't change a thing.
Kaho.
Nothing can change what happened to my daughter.
Hey, shouldn't we get in there?
Hold that thought a moment.
So you can't! You can't just run away! You need to start over and become our mayor again.
What?
When I was weeping with rage and grief, you stood there and cried with me. Instead of running away, you were there when I needed someone the most. I know your character more than anyone.
Ma'am, thank you for sharing your heart with me. Then I promise to both you and your daughter, I will stand back up and become your mayor again.
Mari-san. I don't get it. I know this is a sad moment. Everyone is crying. But it also feels warm and kind. How would you describe this?
I mean, bittersweet is the word I'd use.
I see. So that's why Haru helped Hyodo to transform sadness into happiness, recording valuable data. Sophia has learned happiness.
That must have been the mom of the girl who passed away.
You know, it seems like she really understood Hyodo's intentions.
I'm so happy for you, Mari-san.
She reminded me of what Haru said in jail.
Stand up, Mariko Hyodo! Like that?
Hey, that was a tender moment. There's no need to reenact it.
Yeah, but you played it so cool back there. It really touched my heart.
Could you please forget it already?
Indeed, truly moving.
You did good, Haru.
It really was touching.
Yeah, I like how we've got everyone praising Haru at this point. Again, it's just truly the vindication for the issues in the original story. Yeah, what does come next? That was really the main lead Zenkichi had us pursuing. So, yeah, it's time to just wait for him to get back and, hopefully get more out of her phone than, oops, someone's snooping as usual again. Sorry to reference that now of all times. The Ferris wheel! Oh no!
Nice.
You know how Ferris wheels are in fiction. Yep, as Morgana is saying. So, pick a partner for the Ferris wheel. I'll see you all next time as we do just that. Spoilers, I'll be showing all of them. And after that, we've got some very, very, very interesting plot coming. See you all then.